Okay, we're good to go. He's going to start recording.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, well, welcome. Thank you for joining us for this Tech Tuesday. Today, we're going to talk about Google Hacks, which is an amazing Tech Tuesday. You will see, you're going to learn all these cool things that you probably didn't know, and we didn't know all of them, so it's really cool. Just before we get started, let me just remind you, we are the technology integration team. My name is Isabel Espinosa, and on the call with me today are Sherry Harris, and Josh Boyles is the one that's having issues, but he will be with us as soon as he gets logged in completely because, like I said, we were working on his account and he was not able to log in correctly. As a reminder, we have our website, midlandist.net/itech, where you can find videos and information on all the programs and hardware and software that we use in the district. Please feel free to go to midlandist.net/itech every time you have a question. You might find the answer there. If not, you can always email us at itechhelp@midlandist.net. And you can also type midlandist.net/GoGuardian or /Nearpod or /CleverTouch if you want specific information, or to just go there directly. We also want to encourage you to sign up for the tech newsletter if you haven't already. We only send it to people that sign up. We send 2 a month approximately, and we include information about the newest tech trends, maybe some tips for your classroom. We have also been doing teacher features. So, and you can also go to midlandist.net/tech newsletter to either sign up or to see all the past newsletters that we've created. They're really, really good, and we encourage you to sign up so you can see them. Another thing that we want to remind you is that we have created, you can get credit through Eduphoria if you sign up through Eduphoria. So at some point, we're going to put the link in the chat so that you can click on it and sign up for this 30-minute session. Actually, they are already on there. So if you see it, the one that says 415, click on the one that says 415, sign up, and that will give you the credit for being at your Tech Tuesday today. And we also have our X account or Twitter account, and you can follow us. Our handle is at Midland ISD Tech, and we remind everybody about Tech Tuesdays, and we show you things that our department is doing, or our teacher features will be posting there as well, so you can follow us there. And now to get started. Okay, so I'm going to cover some really quick tips that I've been using in my own browser. I'm going to go over Chrome browser tab organization. I don't know if you're like me, but for me, I always have so many tabs open because I don't want to lose the pages I'm working on, or because I don't have the discipline to be closing them and opening them all the time. So we're going to go over some of the tips that I've been using, and I think you're going to like them. I have loved them. So I'm going to share another one of my screens so I can show you what I'm talking about. So right now, let me tell you first, we're going to talk about bookmarks. There's several things we're going to cover. Right now it's just bookmarks. And I don't know if you knew, but you can also create a bookmark folder. So let me share my let me share this tab. Let's see if you see. No, I don't want to share my tab. I actually want to share my window. Give me 1 second, because this is not what I want to share. I want you to see my whole window. So give me 1 second. Okay, here it is. I want you to see my bar at the top. Okay, I think you can see it now. Okay, so I have several tabs open here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 tabs. So look at my little folders I have here. Okay, I have folders, and each folder I have several apps. So the way to do this is, if you scroll to the right, do you guys, Josh and Sherry, do you guys see my screen correctly? Yes, okay. Now, if you can, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but next to my little tiny picture is a little icon that has like a little pane. It says side panel. So if you click on that, you get this menu that says bookmarks. Okay, so I can create a new folder right here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you, I'm going to put all these tabs into one folder. So I'm going to click on the plus sign right here. And I'm going to call this, this is just, I don't know, school apps. It could just be test, I don't know. So I'm going to go into my folder now. I created it. I'm in that folder, school apps. And at the very bottom, it says add current tab. So I want to add this tab. I'm going to click add current tab. I actually want to add this one too. So at the very bottom, it says add current tab. There's different ways of doing it. This is just an easy way. I'm going to click on this one. I want to add it too. And then let's add this last one. I'm going to add it. Okay. So I'm going to exit out of this because I don't need this anymore. And let me close these tabs. I'm just going to close them. I'm going to open, I don't know, a random tab. I'm going to close these. Okay. Now look, I have my bookmarks right here. I'm going to click on it one more time because I wanted to move it. So I forgot this step. This is important. So you can move it up to your bar right here. Okay, that's all I did. All I did was grab it and dragged it over. So I'm going to close this again. And now look at my little folder. I have my 4 apps right there. I don't have to have all these apps open. Anytime I need something, I can just click on it and open the tab that I need. That's awesome. So now look at what I've done. I've done several things. Josh is going to talk about grouping. I have a group here. I have my folders right here. And each one has all my apps or Windows browsers that I need. And then that's one of them. Let me show you something else really cool. So I also have these little icons right here. Now, if you are in an app, you can always highlight the app and move it down to your bar, right? And that gives you the apps that you need. But you can also right click. If you know what this little picture is, you can right click on this name, go to edit, and delete the title. So I'm going to delete where it says PBS Kids. Can you see all that I'm doing? Can you guys see what I'm doing where it says edit bookmark? I don't see it on the screen.
No.
That's why I'm asking. Oh, okay. Let me see how I can share that.
You might have to share your whole screen, actually. That's probably what it is.
Let me see. You're right,
I think
because
that's
I
why.
am not, because you're not seeing, let me do it again, because you're not seeing the window I want you to see. Entire screen. Okay, there we go. I'm going to share my entire screen. Let's see if that works better. Okay, so what I did is I highlighted or selected this pbs.org, right? I dragged it, moved it down, and here it is. Now, if you right click there, I can see you see it now. I'm going to click on edit. Now this window comes up. What I'm going to do is delete the title, click save, and now I only have the icon. So you can have multiple icons if you know what the icon is. Like here's my email. This one's my calendar. This is I don't know why I have 2, but this is my work order. So I have, that way you can save a lot of space if you know these are things that you're always going to be using. Now, another cool thing that you can do is you can pin to your bar. So I'm going to right click on the little tab at the top. I'm going to right click and I'm going to put pin. Now, when I pin it, it's going to stay there unless I get rid of it. So I have a window where I have all my email pinned a couple of times so that I can go through my email. And this one will always stay. If I close my browser, open it back up, my little pinned page is going to be there. It doesn't take up much space because it doesn't have the name. If I want to duplicate it, I can just right click and put duplicate. And now I have another pin that is the same thing. So this is really, really neat. I think it's very a great time saver. Let me go back to my presentation. Okay, so we went over bookmarks. Oh, there's another thing that I want to go over. Now, the bar that I was on for for the side panels, the side tab has something called reading mode. Okay, so I'm going to go back and share my screen again, but I'm going to share the right screen. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen again. Now, again, I'm going to go to that side pane. At the top, next to my little tiny picture, there's a side pane right there, and you can click on it, and there's a drop down. We went over bookmarks, but there's other things. There's a reading list, and there's also history, where you can see the history of all the pages that you visited in case you forgot. Where was I yesterday? I need to go back to that page. You can click on history. So there's a thing here called reading mode. So if you go to a website, let's just go to wonderofolist.com. I need a page with information so I can show you what this does. So let me click on something that has some reading. Explore Wonders. So if you want to read, let's say, this one has a lot of information. So there's all these colors and boxes that could distract you when you're reading. If you click on reading mode, it will actually give you all the words without the distractions of the different types of fonts and colors and boxes and ads. So you can actually come here and change the font if you'd like. You can change the size of the font, and you can read it here. You can move your pane back and forth, and you can read it here instead of going through all this other information. So reading mode is good if you don't want to get distracted, and you can always make it your main window if you just drag this back and forth. So that's a cool thing to know. So you have reading list. If you have websites that you want to come back to later, you don't want to bookmark it, you just want to come back to it later, like tomorrow, I want to read it tomorrow, I don't want to lose it, I can add it to my reading list. Bookmarks, you can always bookmark by just clicking this little star at the top. But you can also do what I did. If you click on bookmarks, remember, you can create a new folder or go into any of your folders. Like this one is by Bookmark Bar, which they're right here. I can click on it and I can see my folders, and I can open a folder and I can add current tab, always added to my bookmark. So these are all the things that I wanted to talk about that you can organize in your browser. I think I covered everything. So now I'm going to give it back to Josh so he can continue.
Awesome. Thank you, Isabel. Yeah, and I apologize for the technical difficulties there at the beginning, but I think I got everything figured out now. So what I'm going to do is, and Isabel was showing me some of this when we were preparing, and I thought it was really cool. And so I have 3 Google tips to share with you guys today. I would say, first off, before I get started, Sherry, if I go too long and you think you want to kind of give me a time limit, you can always jump in and say, hey, it's my turn. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. And so, like I said, I've got 3 things that I want to show everyone today. And I'm going to first go through just a quick rundown of what I'm going to show you first from our presentation. And then we'll just go ahead and jump in and look at it together. So if I could do the whole slideshow, I'm going to show you the whole slideshow here. So the first Google tip that I have for you today is kind of going off of what Isabel was showing you all. So she was going over how to do the folders and how to do the different, like the putting favorites into folders and things like that. So I discovered something that changed my life recently. Guys, I cannot even express how much this helps me out. It's something called tab groups. So if you haven't heard of tab groups, I can promise you right now you're missing out, especially as a teacher. I remembered I had a lot of tabs in my job here now with instructional technology. I still have a lot of tabs. So basically, the slide that I put together here, it just kind of, I'll kind of explain it. It says there are 2 types of people in the world: tab minimalists You can raise your hand if you're a tab minimalist, who have just a few tabs open at a time, and tab collectors. Now, if you're a tab collector like me, you can just raise your hand. Okay, I'm a tab collector, right? I could probably, I'm not joking right now when I say I probably have about 40 tabs the last time I counted all of the tabs that I use for what I do on a day-to-day basis. I know it sounds crazy, but I promise there's a reason why. So I'm a tab collector, okay? And basically, that's what tab groups was created. It says for minimalists and collectors alike, we're bringing a new way to organize your tabs in Chrome. It's called tab groups. So as you can see on the pictures I put in here, there's these cool little, that's actually a screenshot of my Google homepage with the tab groups at the top. And basically the idea is you can put groups of tabs together inside of a group, and it kind of puts it in a collection together, and you can title it and put like a color code to that as well. It's really, really cool. So that's the first thing I'm going to show you. The second thing I'm going to show you today is in Gmail, and that's how to add available times. If you didn't know, Gmail has a scheduling feature. You can find slots to meet directly from your inbox. Find slots where you can meet with people, and you don't even need to leave or navigate separately away from your Google Calendar. You can do it all right there in Gmail. You just select offer times that you are free, and your calendar will open in a pane to the right of your email. And then you can just select one or more that are open times, that slots that work for you, and you can add that to an email. I thought that was pretty cool. So you can add times to your email. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And then the third thing is the Gmail reading pane. And basically what this is kind of, once again, piggybacking off of what Isabel was showing you, only this time it's kind of a reading pane that you can use inside of Gmail specifically. So Gmail has a built-in option called reading pane, or I like to call it split view. That kind of makes it easier to understand. Let me see, it says it makes it easier for you to read images and messages while you're actually scrolling through your emails. So that's pretty cool. This feature splits the screen into two pieces so that you can read emails on one half and browse for messages on the other. So without further ado, let's go ahead. I'm going to share my screen here. And I have to, like I said, I have to share my whole screen just the way Isabel did, because I'm showing you different tabs. So I'm going to find the page that I want to show everyone. Now, don't freak out, because this is going to create an infinite, what do you call it? The little infinite screen here. Me personally, I think it's kind of cool. So I don't mind seeing that little infinite mirroring effect. So what I'm going to do is bring you guys over here on my other screen, and hopefully everyone can see what I'm doing now. Yes? Okay. So you can see my whole screen. Let's go ahead. I'm going to show you the tab groups. So as you can see here at the top, I've actually have one of my tab groups open, and that's the newsletter. And you can see whenever I click on it, you see how all of the tabs expand and can collapse whenever you click on the actual tab group. So I'm clicking on my tab group called newsletter, and I have given that the kind of a yellow orange color code. Okay. Down over here at the bottom, you can see some of my other tab groups. So you can see basically what I'm grouping together. I have a group for like our conference that we're planning coming up here pretty quick. I've got a tab group specifically for Tech Tuesdays that I have a bunch of tabs in there. I have a main group, which has like my Gmail and all of the calendar, all of the things I use. I have this one called MISD Tech. So this is just stuff that has to do with our website, things like that. So as you can see, I can click on these, like say, for instance, conference. And basically what it does is it opens all of them at the top. And I can have as many open as I want. I can grab groups and kind of bring them on their own separate browser. And what's so cool is I can close that. I don't have to worry about losing any of those tabs, because if I want that back, all I have to do is go back to my conference tab group and just reopen it, and they all reopen together. So you don't have to worry about losing tabs anymore. They're all going to be saved together in your tab group. So once you open a tab group, basically what it's going to do is open all of those tabs together. So you can see, for instance, once I opened the tab group conference, it kind of opened up with all of these tabs I had put in there for getting ready for so you can see I had like an Adobe If I go to my MISD Tech, you can see there's all of these tabs in there with our website, all of the things that I have grouped together working on specifically for our department. And then I can collapse those down together. Now you might be wondering, okay, but Josh, how do I actually create a tab group? So let's try it. So what we're going to do is let's open just 3 normal tabs here. Okay. And actually, here's what I'm going to do, because basically, as you can see, you can drag and drop into the group if you have a tab that you want to bring in there. But I want to show you just how it would be if you were starting from the beginning. So let's just say we want to make a group for, I don't know, maybe our favorite website. So I'm going to do Nearpod. Maybe these are just a group we want to create with our favorite, education websites. So we've got Nearpod here. I'm going to open up another tab and we're going to type in Seesaw. Okay, and then let's open up a third tab. And for this one, oh, it's going kind of slow here. This one will go to Discovery. Whoops. Discovery Education. And so these are just some of our favorites here. Oh, I guess my browser is going to be kind of slow here. I'm not sure what it's doing. Okay, here we go. I think it's working. All right, so I've got my 3 websites here. I've got Nearpod, Seesaw, and Discovery. And it is going kind of slow. So here's how you would create a tab group. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing there at the top. So what you would do is hold down Shift on your keyboard, and you would go to the tab at the beginning and hold down Shift while you're clicking the tab all the way at the end. Okay, now do you see what that did? It kind of highlights all of the tabs at the same time. It's maybe hard to tell from what you can see there, but I promise you that's what it's doing. So now what I do is right click on all of those tabs that are highlighted together, and I just choose this option that says add tabs to group. And then I'm going to choose new group. Okay, now I can put education websites. Okay, so that's the title of my tab group. I can choose a color. So we can choose like maybe the color purple for this one. Before you close this out, you want to toggle this switch that says save to group. Okay. And then we should be good. Okay. And now I can close that. Now I'm back on my browser window that I had open before. If I click my little down arrow, you can see it added that tab group called education websites to that. Now, if you have any problems with creating tab groups, there might be a thing that you have to set up in your browser before you're actually enabled to use tab groups. You are more than welcome to reach out to us if that setting is not turned on for you on your browser by default, but everyone should be able to use tab groups. Okay, so just so you know, there can be a little bit of a weirdness with that sometimes. So if you come across that problem, please reach out to me, and we can fix that really easy. Okay, now the next part. What was the next part? Let me see. Gmail. So let's go to Gmail.
Josh, just so that you're aware, it's 4:43.
Okay. We can actually go ahead and go to you, Sherry. That I think.
Go ahead and finish. I just, if you want to stay, you can. It's supposed to end at 4:45, but I'll go after 4:45.
Are you sure? Okay. I already got to share one, so I don't mind closing it out right there.
You're good. Go.
Okay. So let's go to the next one. I'll try to make this really fast. Okay. Okay, let's go to our inbox. So the next 2 I have are having to do with Gmail. So the second one that I was going to show you was basically there's this little thing where you can do the reading pane, right? And you can do a split screen. To turn that on, you just go to the gear inside of your settings. You're going to click on all settings. You're going to go to the inbox tab. You're going to scroll until you see the reading pane option right there. You're going to click enable. I like to choose right of the inbox, but you can always change this later. Even after you click this down here, click save changes. Okay, so now that's going to kind of reopen and as you can see here, I've got Superman in the background. That's my favorite superhero. All right, as you can see, I can scroll through different, all of my inbox here. and then I can actually read that on the other side. I thought that was pretty cool. So that's the reading pane, and it just makes it easier for you to scroll while you want to have an email open. There's also here on the side a toggle switch. Once you go into your settings and you enable that part, you can click on no split, vertical split, or horizontal split. So we can change that, or we can just toggle it off, and you just go right back to your normal view. So that's the second one. The third one, real fast, is, which one was it? We did the reading pane. Oh, adding available times. That's right. Okay, so real fast, I'm just going to show you. I'm going to open up an email thread that we had going here on. We were talking with DJ about some technology here, and so what I want to do is say, you know what, we really need to meet about this, but I don't want to have to go to my calendar to set up a meeting. So this is a really cool feature. What you can do is you just click reply all, and right here at the bottom where you've got Google Drive, attach, and all of those other things, you'll see there's actually a calendar icon. You can click set up a time to meet. And instead of creating an event, which is probably what most people would do, I'm going to click on offer times that you are free. So this is really cool, right? So what it does is it opens up your calendar on the side, and it is kind of squished together. So that part, I wish I could drag this and kind of readjust the size, but it still works pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down to where obviously I have to pick a time today that is after, right? It can't be before, when we started this thing. So I'm going to just for the sake of it, obviously we're all going to be gone, but I'm going to choose a time at 9 p.m. And what it does is it lets you kind of place this little space on 9 p.m. or whatever slot that you have available. And the cool part is that you can actually add multiple. So we could even add a meeting at 9, 10, and 11. Okay, and if I scroll down here on this bottom section, you can see where I can actually, I'm going to close that one out. You can see I can actually add dates. So now I can actually go to tomorrow, or I can go to Friday, right? And I can add more times that I have available on my calendar. You can add multiple times. So that's really cool. You can scroll through here and see all of the different available times that you're going to add so that everyone can see. I'm going to click next, and then I'm going to choose add to email. Check that out. Is that not the coolest thing, right? You can kind of share that with everyone. If I click send right now, they're going to be able to see all of my open slots that I have available, and they can choose what time. So it's a really cool scheduling feature that allows you to share your available times and send that through an email without actually having to leave the Gmail app. So anyways, I'm going to close that out because I don't actually want to send that to them. Hopefully you will find those very useful. So I'm going to go ahead and bounce it to Sherry.
Thank you, Josh. I'm going to present my entire screen. All right, so today I am actually going to be talking about extensions. 10 specifically extensions. I'll go briefly over all of them. So Dulles will allow you to split or merge your windows. So I have 2 screens, but in my old position I had 3. So sometimes I like to use this to just split my screens in half so that it's really easy for me to see what I'm looking at. You have Wakelet, which will save and organize and share content across the web. OneTab, I am a minimalist when it comes to tabs, and I stumbled across OneTab and I absolutely love it because it'll save all your tabs in a list and you can restore it for later. Google Keep is a handy note keeper, and you can share it with others and you can access it anywhere. Checker Plus for Google Drive, you can access Drive in one click. Loom is a screencasting extension with drawing tools. Color Pick Eyedropper. So if you are an art teacher, a design teacher, and you see a color that you really like, you can select a color on any web page or from an advanced color picker. what font so what font will do is give you the font on any kind of presentations or web page as well. Kami allows you to annotate PDFs, documents, sheets, and more. You can also insert shapes, text, comments, and drawings. And then Google Read and Write, which has been deployed to, I believe, all Chromebooks, will do text-to-speech and text picture dictionaries. Okay, so I'm actually going to go in. And I have your little extension bar, and I'm going to click on this one. I have this one pinned. You just pin it by clicking here, and I'm going to click here if it allows me to. And this this gives you all of your different screens. I like to do the half and half, and you could not see that because it just all went to my first screen. But basically what it did was split everything in half. And so that's just kind of how I use it. And whenever you're done with it, you can just click like this. Then you have Wakelet. I think I came across this in TCA, and I really like it. I actually made one for today. This is just me adding it. But if I actually go to Wakelet, oh, there it is. This is what it looks like. So I have a Tech Tuesday Google Hacks. So anything I've used for today, I've put the link here, just so that I have all of those links very handy for me to grab. One tab. All I have to do is all of these tabs. I don't like all of these tabs. I really do not like tabs at all. I will close all of my tabs and start completely over. I don't care. Just because I get a little overwhelmed. So I'm going to go down here and click one tab. And that's going to close all of that was on that web browser. And then from here, here's all of my 10 tabs that were open. All I have to do is click here, and it opens it right back up where it was. So I don't lose anything, and I have it all right there. You can kind of see it's kind of pinned right here. And this is just kind of all of my tabs that were open on that screen. Again, I don't like that many tabs open, so this makes it so much easier. Sorry, I keep looking at my phone because I took a picture of all the apps. Google Keep is actually a pretty cool one. I'm gonna go to Google Keep real quick. Well, if it opens. Sometimes extensions are weird with our school district. See, now I can't even find it. Oh, there it is. See, now it's not even opening. Yeah, I believe so. It's right here. Well, sometimes extensions are weird. And you can kind of see that I have, I had a to-do list for some things that we have coming up. But I can download the app on my phone and have this anywhere I go. Checker Plus for Google Drive. I really like this one. I actually have it pinned here. But if I click here, it brings up my drive. So if I'm looking for the presentation that we were presenting today, Google Hacks Tech Tuesday. It's right here. And I just click it and I can open it. And I did not have to go search in my actual drive. It was all right there with just an extension. Loom, I won't spend too much time on just because it's a screen recording app. If it comes up, sometimes I don't like extensions because they're kind of weird. Well, I just opened up Kami, so everything is running a little bit slow today. It looks like. So Loom, if you're on a screen that you want to record, you can just click on Loom and then it'll do the screen recording of that screen, and you can do like a 1 or 2 minute video, like if you're doing it for your students. Color picker, I'm gonna get out of the screen. Okay. I'm just gonna close that. Okay, this is Cami. I'm not doing Cami yet. Color picker is like an eyedropper. So I can click here. And I really think our internet's being really slow today. Because it should just like pop up. And I should be able to see the colors. You know, this worked completely fine earlier today. I just want to let you know that. Okay, so here you can kind of see that I'm hovering and I can see the color right there. So if you're trying to match something and you can type in the color, you can go here. You can use this to find the color. And then I have what font. It's kind of the same idea, only it's with font. So if you have a specific font that you want, you can use that. I'm really excited about Cami, so I'm going to go ahead and open up Cami. But I'm going to open up, I was a math teacher for 5 years, and I wish I could have had this in my classroom. So Cami, right now, we're doing a free trial for the entire district. And it expires in 86 days. So if you want to try it, go ahead. But if you have your teacher laptop, it turns into a tablet. Sometimes it's not always the easiest thing to do is stand at the front of the classroom and write on your Clever Touch or your board. Sometimes whenever we have little troublemakers, especially in the math class, if we have a tablet or something that we're sharing to the board and we have a stylus or something, if we could just do what we need to on our tablet and share it to the board, that's so much helpful. Cameo allows you to do that with a PDF. So I would just share this, and then over here I have like text. I can do a highlighter if I needed to highlight something for my students so that they're looking at it. I can even do an equation in here. And then I can do drawings, which I especially love because like this is 2-step equations. So I would show, I could walk around with my tablet computer and have my kids solve this and not have to go to the board. Or I could sit beside my little troublemaker and they could, I could teach from the back of my classroom, because that's usually where the troublemakers sit, and show all of this on the board. And then the last thing is Google Read and Write. This was deployed to all of our Chromebooks. And basically what you do is you would open it up. You would open up whatever page you wanted it to read. And it gives you all of this up here. You could say you wanted to start here, and you could hit play and it would read. It would allow the student to actually listen to either the questions or an article if they don't want to read. It does do a lot of other things. There's a dictionary here and all of that. So we went over 15 minutes, so I'm going to stop talking. Do you have any questions for us? If you don't have any questions, thank you for coming to this super long Tech Tuesday. Thank you.